Is Felger and Maz your favorite afternoon show?
Yes, 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 yes.
Felger and Maz.
We're all trying to figure that out, you know? So I know it's a conversation, and I did see it. He's not wrong in what he's saying. There's a lot more going on here. Like, there's way more media here. There's people on the field. There's rehabs here. There's more staff here. Like, it's part of it, you know? So I think he also doubled back, and I said it too, like, what's the fix? Like, well, you win 4 out of 5 and people start talking about it less. So it comes with it. It's Boston. It's a big market. There's a lot more things going on here than there is on the road. That's probably the case in a lot of places, maybe even more so here. But yeah, we have to get it squared away. I think winning solves a lot of it.
We'll start with the fallout, the continuing fallout from 2 nights ago. Isiah Kiner-Falefa, after another horrible home performance, talking about being home versus on the road, and how on the road they're kind of a tight-knit group. When they get here, there's different people around that they're not as familiar with, and there are distractions of being at home and the amount of people that are around. That's what he said after the loss on Wednesday night. That's him yesterday. I'm sorry, that was Chad Tracy, the manager, yesterday, explaining away what he thinks Kiner-Falefa meant. And this has sort of been in the last day and a half, this has been sort of a consensus. This is how the Red Sox have decided to handle this, by saying, well, what he meant was, at home, there's just a lot of people around. It's a crowded clubhouse. It's a small facility. It's old. So you feel crowded. There's a lot of people. There's staff, the media, big market. And that's what he was referring to. Do you think that's what he was referring to?
No.
No matter what he's referring to, you can't hit baseballs and field correctly because there's more people around? And it just speaks to how soft and stupid this team is.
It's one of two things. He's either lying his face off, which is what I think that he is. I think Isiah Kiner-Falefa was referring to the guys on this team doing the wrong things away from the stadium and away from the field, and not taking care of themselves or focusing properly when they're here at home because, I don't know, they like to go out here, and it's not as comfortable for them on the road. I don't know why. Usually, teams hit it hard on the road and are good boys at home with the wife and the kids, and then they go on the road and it's a free-for-all. Maybe here with the Red Sox, it's reversed.
Well, if you have young guys who aren't married.
I was going to say, maybe that's it. Yeah, they don't have families to answer to when they come home. They got all their pieces here at home. So either way, this is what I think Kiner-Falefa was referring to. And I know that, and I believe that, because when Kiner-Falefa was asked the follow-up yesterday, Jimmy, if you could just give me Kiner-Falefa 1, the edited quick version there.
And do you mean, like, try the size of the traveling party and team employees, or is it away from the ballpark stuff, or
just a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything.
That's a tell. I hadn't heard this.
Is it staffers? Is it people around? Is it away from the stadium stuff? Little bit of everything, he says. So he don't want to fully out everybody. But to me, I think I believe it's kind of apparent that he thinks the guys are doing the wrong thing away from the stadium, and it's worse here than it is on the road. That's what I think the germination of that comment was.
Yeah, I'm not going to dispute that part of it. I think that is right. I think I do believe him, though, that it's multiple things. But one of them is the players on the road.
And the second thing might be because there's, I heard a rumble there from the locker room. Maybe Kiner-Falefa was speaking off the record to people, or I don't know. But there was a belief down there that he was also implying, and he said that he was implying, that the number of staffers, and this we mean hitting instructors, the analysts from the second floor, or too many of those people hanging around, and that's what I don't fully believe that either. I believe he might have been saying that to people, but I don't believe him. I don't. But Maz, your thoughts?
No, I think, again, I would put it under the umbrella of, what do I think the big thing is? I think the young guys on this team don't have a clue how to win. I think that the Red Sox have cultivated a loser environment where it's all about these young guys, and none of these young guys really understand what it takes to win, and that involves going out on the road, not prepping for the games, not being on time early on, and then you want to add all the other, in other words, you want to tell me there are too many staffers in the clubhouse? Yeah, I think the Red Sox are freaking micromanaged to the nth degree, and that's a problem too. But I think that their young players don't get it. And I think part of the reason they don't get it is because they haven't been taught it. And some guys have it innately, others don't.
Big time.
And so I think organizationally, I can't emphasize this enough. I don't think people understand the depth of the problems in that organization and how completely effed up they are.
Okay, sorry to cut you off, but kind of a big tell that you have a utility guy saying this kind of thing. Like,
right, they have no one to sort of steer the ship.
Good observation, Murray.
23rd guy on the roster who just got here 10 minutes ago. He's the one that's got to say something. Of course, that's a big tell. And the organizational issues, Maz, are pervasive up and down the organization.
So can I just give you another one real quick?
But let's just focus on the roster.
Okay.
Go ahead. And the maturity thereof.
Yeah, the inexperience is apparent throughout the organization, including, as I've come to learn, the training staff. Even their training staff has a bunch of inexperienced people on it that has sort of created this uncertainty with regarding injuries and everything else that go along with it and getting ready for games. So there's that on top of it. And I'm not telling you that's the reason they suck. I'm just telling you that there's inexperience. They're a minor league operation. They are a freaking minor league operation. But go ahead. I know you want to get to the roster.
Well, no, I'm just, on this particular point. So Chad Tracy says, well, Big Mark, I'll give you a follow-up just because they just kept going. They've been, for a day and a half, they've been going on and on about this. Go ahead. Number 4, Jimmy, if you could, please.
Chad, you mentioned staff, you mentioned trainers, more of that here. Are there things you can do to sort of streamline that a little bit?
We could talk about it for sure, as a staff, and Brez and myself, we can talk about that. But I don't necessarily think that's a problem unique to just us. Maybe it's our facility's a little smaller, so maybe it feels a little bit more, you feel a little bit more here than maybe some other place does. That could be a thing, and we can certainly talk about it. But again, I don't think it's a problem just unique to here. Most teams, when you go home, there's more people involved around there, and you just got to,
Okay, so they've been going on and on about this, about the number of people that are around in the close confines. So it's one of two things. I think he's lying. I think Kiner-Falefa said things that was implying things that are much more damaging to the team, and that is the young players are a bunch of idiots who don't take care of themselves away from the stadium and are doing the wrong things, and or the organization has too many useless people roaming around the ballpark. Okay, that's the crux of what he was saying. The crowded clubhouse and the amount of people, no.
Bull crap.
But if Tracy's right, if he's actually telling the truth, then they couldn't be any softer. They were even softer than I thought.
Yeah.
There's just too many people hanging around the batting cage. That's what's going on?
Yeah, and how are you going to change that? That's been true here for freaking 50 years.
Jesus, and it has impacted some people. Like, for example, Nomar Garciaparra couldn't handle it. He drew a line. I mean, you covered the team at this time, Maz, right?
I did.
Did he draw a line? Did he tape a line around his locker stall where you weren't allowed to go inside the line?
So I think he did initially, but then eventually they replaced the carpet, and the carpet had a line in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so...
But he initially taped an effing line.
Sounds right, Mike. I don't remember.
Don't come inside my crease.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from time to time, and that's why you had to get rid of him, because he wasn't right. So I'm not telling you that this doesn't exist by some people, but... for some people. But if Chad Tracy's actually telling the truth, how freaking soft do you have to be that you come home and there's too many people around and that impacts you? I don't believe that that's what Kiner-Falefa meant, but they're both bad. Either Chad Tracy's lying his face off or he's telling the truth. In this case, the truth would be worse. That's why you can't hit at Fenway Park? Stop it.
No, and again, my answer to that would be, if I'm the organization, well, they're not going away, so figure it out.
Soft, dumbass team. I give you Exhibit A, 1A, Brian Bayo. Your thoughts?
Oh, my gosh. This thing today was, you could see it coming. So he was going to start the game. He was actually going to start the game instead of coming in the second inning and being the bulk inning guy. And what happened right out of the gate? First pitch of the game. First pitch. Two-seam fastball. Right down freaking Broadway. The guy hit it off the center field wall for a double. It should have been a triple. He kind of coasted into second base. The ball got by Rafaela. And then after that, walk, single, hit batter, walk, double, fly ball off the wall for a 3-run double. You look up and it's 6-0. And I said this in real time while I was sitting out in the lobby with our intern, Zeke. And we were watching the game, and they had one out, runners at second and third, and it was 1-0 at that time. And I said, this is a big spot because Bayo unravels and he can get out of this giving up just one run. He was in a spot to give up one run. Guy hit a single through the right side. Next guy hit a double off the wall. 6-5, 6-0. Boom. Just like that. When it unravels, he caves. I think Brian Bayo now has become what Christian Campbell was. He's a mental mess. He is a freaking puddle on the mound. They got to get this guy back into the minor leagues and reconstruct and rebuild him. Another guy that they gave a multi-year contract to, 6 years, $50 million or whatever the hell it was. Get out there. We believe in you. He has gone completely south. He's unfixable at the moment, if you ask me. His head has more noise going on in it than you can possibly imagine. Send him to AAA and get his head screwed on. He's a mess.
I don't know if you're ever going to be able to do it with him. Even when he's been going good, he unravels when things don't go his way.
He just can't tolerate any adversity at all, Murray.
And now these numbers also prove he needs the fluffer to start these games. He can't start. He can't be a traditional starter. His numbers are now earned run average of just under 10. It's 968, 10 home runs, 18 walks, 370 batting average against as a traditional starter. You suck.
You know what he's done in 2 starts against Baltimore? These are not fake numbers. 8 1/3 innings. 20 hits. 20 hits. 16 runs, all earned. No errors. 5 home runs, which he gave up in the first start. He didn't give up any today. He gave up 5 home runs in 3 1/3 innings in Baltimore the first time. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. His ERA is 17.28. Okay, so the guy is a complete mental mess. He's completely fallen apart. He's lost all confidence. He's got to go to the minor leagues. And I would say the same thing about him at this point that I feel about Christian Campbell. I think Brian Bayo might be done in Boston. Now, again, he's got the ability. That 2-seam fastball he throws is filthy good. I mean, he was tying up Pete Alonso with it today.
They can't give him another start.
I don't think they can. I'm surprised he's lasted this long. What the hell's he doing here? It's making it worse. The damage is getting worse. Do they see that?
Well, but why don't you just pitch him out of the bullpen?
You could do that. Make him a mop-up man, but I don't think that heals him. You know what I mean? That is like a demotion in terms of, that is we don't think you're good enough to do it anymore. So if you send him to the minors, you can always say, look, you just need to get right down there, and then we'll bring you back. They got a left-hander down there. They got in a trade Bennett. They could bring him back up. And even if they have to pitch bullpen games, what good does it do to pitch this guy? And Mike, even if he comes in the second inning and pitches well,
no, your openers are getting tushed.
Exactly.
You're down 3-0.
So his day to pitch, you're getting killed no matter what.
That's right.
Get him out of there. Get him out.
Okay, make some Red Sox thoughts. NBA Finals, Maz's tears started with the Patriots post A.J. Brown. What kind of team are they? All that stuff, all your calls right after these words.
Felger and Maz continue on the Sports Hub.
We've heard from folks, the great reporters who cover the team up in Boston, that the Red Sox are looking for a right-handed hitter. Well, what I've heard today is it's not that they're just looking for a right-handed hitter, like they are aggressively looking for a right-handed hitter and signaling to the industry, look, we're willing to take on money. We're willing to pay a lot of money, which, of course, raises the immediate question, why didn't you just pay Alex Bregman and pay the extra money? But the way this is being interpreted in other organizations is, man, there's some desperation setting in there in Boston because of this ugly start, how poorly they're playing at home, winning a third of their games, struggling offensively, and understanding they have an imbalance in their lineup. But that was really interesting. At a time when the response of a lot of teams this time of year is we're not ready to talk trade. What the Red Sox are saying is we really want to get a right-hand hitter, and we're willing to pay big dollars for them. And remember, last year, Craig Breslow was able to pull off that Devers trade relatively early in the season. Maybe he can do something, and it might be a case where the Red Sox are willing to take on a bad contract in order to get a good right-handed hitter.
The Red Sox, Maz, are really still aggressively pursuing a right-handed bat and are willing to take on money and or a bad contract to do it. What do you make of all these reports, and what do you think?
No, I think it's true. I think they're desperate. I think it's exactly what Buster said. I think ownership is pissed off, allegedly, to which I would say, well, how can you be pissed off when this is what you've built? So this is the kind of organization you wanted. You wanted guys who had upside and that, you'd be able to pay a little and get a lot in terms of production. And it blew up on you. Now the team sucks. You have an inexperienced GM. And so what do you think's going to happen? So now, and there was an interesting story. Did you read the story that our buddy Matt the Stat sent?
I did not get a chance to do it.
Okay, so Matt the Stat, who, again, won an auction here years ago. That's how we met him, and he's an admitted nerd, and he now works for, Jimmy, is it Bleacher Report or SB Nation? He works for SB Nation. He wrote a thing today saying that John Henry is basically closed all the deals now on all the property around Fenway Park, that construction has begun in earnest, and he's going to have to rent all this space around the ballpark starting next year. Well, the team blows. So now John Henry is sort of in a panic mode because I have to get a better team in the ballpark or the value of some of these investments is going to deteriorate or I'm going to lose money on people. They wanted to do this a number of years ago, by the way, and with COVID and everything else and people emigrating from the city made it difficult. There was so much empty space down there, they had to delay it. So now they're in the process of doing it. So this is Matt the Stats theory, that there's a business interest for Henry, and I don't doubt that there is. They are desperate. I keep saying this over and over again. I'm
sorry, just to jump in there. So, for example, they need a splash kind of move.
Yeah.
Like a Mike Trout, for example.
Yeah, something big. And like, again, Mike, one of those buildings in left field that they're going to do is going to have a rooftop that'll look into the ballpark. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that whole property, that idea is contingent upon the Red Sox having a desirable product. And the product sucks. And I don't think there's an easy way out for them now. So people start saying, they can get a right-handed hitter. Who? Tell me what guy is going to change this lineup. And I know...
but...
PR is a different thing.
Yeah, we're talking about headlines.
Okay.
And PR, right? We're not talking about fundamentally no one bat. I don't, their problems are obviously much more pervasive than one single right-handed bat, no matter how good it might be.
Exactly.
We're talking about
someone like Trout.
Yeah. So
my question then becomes, why would he come here?
So that's always been the question. He's got full no trade. Why would he do it? But I think this, I always understood why I thought the Red Sox might do this. They need some, just sacking another manager or general manager ain't going to do it at this point.
Definitely not.
All that's going to do, and they still might do it today for all I know. Let Breslow go. It's coming. He's going to get whacked here. It's just a matter of when.
After the Yankee series.
Is that when it happens, Mike?
I think so, yeah.
Why?
Well, that's right. You said that.
Yeah, they've typically made these type of big moves after a Yankee series that goes sideways. It was Devers last year, right? That was after that Yankee series. And if it's ugly, as I would think most people would expect it to be this weekend, that's probably when it would be come Monday before they go to Tampa.
Well, so all I'm saying is when it does happen, it's just going to open up another round of bashing of John Henry. Mm-hmm. We all know Craig Breslow sucks. We all know what he's done and hasn't done, and Caleb Durbin and Kyle Harrison, and that story's already been told. It'll just open up the floodgates again to talk about, what's the real problem? And it's just going to give. So all I'm saying is, it's a long way of saying, if they want some positive headlines and some positive press, just firing a guy is not going to do it. They got to bring someone in that sort of people go, oh.
Definitely.
And it just sounds like they're looking to do it. And it would probably be a mistake, don't you think?
It depends on who the player is and what the contract is.
It'd be window dressing, but go ahead. A Trout would be window dressing. It would just be like...
I think so, too. I think it would be window dressing. They need substantive moves. And so, and when I say... Now, again, it might stem the tide for a little while, but I also look at it and say, when they need a talent and a contract, they might not be in one player. You might be able to get a good player somewhere by taking on a bad contract that team also has.
Oh, yeah.
So in other words, it's you get two players coming back. One's got a horrible contract. Think of it as like Josh Beckett and Mike Lowell.
Got it.
Right, except Lowell turned out could play.
Understood.
But something like that.
David Price and Mookie Betts.
Right. Something like that. And to me, that's what they should be doing, because otherwise they're not going to be able to get one player with what they want to give up.
I promise. You're all lined up to your calls after Murray gets you updated here.
Whee! Goalie fight. Whee! Look
look at the goalie fight.
Whoa.
Maz.
Oh, my God.
Murray.
He sucks in the playoffs.
That's great. No.
98.5.
Wonderful. Good.
The Sports Hub.
To your phones as promised. Alan in Florida. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, this is almost incredible. I can tell you a quick funny story, and then I'll get into it. Today they had a little wager on there. Who's going to win after the first inning? I kept on pressing until they shut me off. And the Red Sox were favored. I drove to the Hard Rock, and I kept on playing the machine. Baltimore in the first inning, and then they shut me off there too. Well, anyway, I mean, it's not. I want some money, but it's not funny. This is just totally. And everyone makes light of like Durbin for Harrison. That's not. Harrison is a legitimate big league pitcher who's doing well. And Buster Olney mentioned. He made the Devers trade. That was a fabulous trade. Did they have anybody on the team, by the way, that...
Alan, give me 1 point. Just give me 1 point. Because I don't know. You're talking. You're like asking questions or being sarcastic. I don't know what... Here, do you want to pick up on anything with Alan's call?
No. I mean, again, Alan tends to ramble. It's okay. I understand his general frustration. There were so many problems with the Red Sox. It's hard to identify one. So I would tell you that organizationally, they are beyond broken. They are shattered organizationally, and until they figure all that out and get some real structure and empower someone to make some baseball decisions without micromanaging the entire effing thing, they're going nowhere.
Tom, quick.
Hey, what's going on, guys? The frustrating thing to me, guys, is the way that they're coming out today saying, the Buster Olney's report saying, they're going to go and get a right-handed power hitter. They need this, they need that. They had an in-house solution with Bregman and they decided not to do it. And Mike, when you came back the other day, like earlier, when you said the ABS challenges aren't the Red Sox last in that, you understand that's become a rhetorical question. They're last in everything because they're an effing disgrace.
Tom, that ABS challenge thing is it's a small thing, but it's symptomatic.
Yes,
it's representative of how freaking clueless they are as baseball players. They just don't get it.
Mike, so the story that Spear had today said that the team was in Kansas City, and Kansas City has been good at the ABS challenges. Did you see any of this or no?
I did not.
Okay, so what Kansas City did with their catchers is they threw pitches. They made these guys work out before the games. They threw pitches on the edges of the strike zone, and the catchers had to decide whether or not to challenge. And they were either right or they're wrong, and they had a little competition, but they were trying to perfect the art of challenging when they needed to. The Red Sox just started doing this now because of that. So another team, again, is 2 or 3 months ahead of them. This change has been coming into the league for a long time. And the players are dumb. The players can't get it right.
Well, the Red Sox players are dumb.
Right. That's what I mean. I'm sorry if I didn't articulate it that way. So, like the one today, Contreras challenged a pitch today. The whole ball was in the strike zone.
They had 2 of them.
The whole ball was in the strike zone.
They had 2 of them.
And Duran had the other one.
Where the entire ball was not just in the strike zone. There was a good amount of real estate around it wasn't close.
And there's no part of it that they understand. They don't understand when to do it.
Right.
And they don't understand what to challenge.
Right.
So if a pitch is close, you don't challenge. If it's early in the game, you don't challenge.
They don't know how to play baseball.
Zero. They're dumb. They're a really stupid team. I mean, they are really, really stupid.
Because the organization doesn't teach it.
Right. They don't teach anything. These guys aren't prepared to play when they get here. They're dumb. They're a dumb baseball team.
Here's Chris in Hartford on the basketball. Go, Chris.
Yes, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. So in 2023, I posed a trade for Jaylen Brown to go to Minnesota for Karl Anthony Towns. Okay. It did not go through. Danny Ainge did not pull the trigger on it.
Would you do it now, Chris?
Oh, definitely. I wanted Brown gone 3 years ago.
Oh. Would you do that? Would you trade Jaylen Brown straight up for Karl Anthony Towns?
No.
No freaking way.
I don't trust Karl Anthony Towns.
No way. Listen, he has emerged and he is doing things at this time of year that I did not think he was capable of. Tough, smart, winning basketball at the highest level in the biggest pressure moments. I did not think he was that guy. But no, sir. I'm not trading Jaylen Brown for Karl Anthony Towns. And that's what would piss me off if I'm a Celtics fan. That guy's showing more grit and balls and clutch basketball than you? That guy?
Jaylen Brown has more competitive character in his pinky than Karl Anthony Towns has. And that doesn't mean that Karl Anthony Towns will lose this series as a result of it. He might actually put it together for 7 games. That wouldn't surprise me. He'll never win again after this one.
Speaking of Jaylen Brown, Stan in Mattapan has a thought. Yes, Stan.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you today?
We're good.
Good. I love you guys, man. Hey, I just saw something online today about Jaylen Brown's penthouse being on the market. I like Jaylen Brown, but I think the Celtics need to change it up. And for me, it doesn't have to be Giannis. If we can get a couple of good players, I mean, I trust Brad also. I think he's a good general manager.
Well, listen, Stan, let me cut you off. First of all, the house being on the market is a little misleading. He's done it the last 3 years.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Apparently, he's been trying to sell it, and he's put it on the market the last 3 springs or summers, and then he's taken it back off and putting it back on. So this is the 3rd time he's done that.
Well, he has been involved in trade rumors before.
So, listen, I don't know, to sell your house, a market strategy, you just don't leave it on for 3 straight years. You take it off, let it cool, and then pop it back on. And so it's hard to say that some trade is imminent because he's put his place on the market. He's got a home in Wellesley that is not on the market as far as I know, and he's done this previously with this house. So all I'm saying is that's not the tell that it usually is. Do they have to change something up? Yes, categorically. I wouldn't, unless I'm winning the trade, tell me who I'm getting back. But I'm not making that change through Brown and Tatum. It's the best duo in the Eastern Conference. It's arguably the best duo in the league. That should be enough. You should be able to fill out the roster smartly around him. And if you play the right way, that should be enough. But if they come back with Brown, Tatum, and Joe Mazzulla, then I'm sorry, you're destined to be what you've been, which is losing in the Eastern Conference to lesser teams. That's what you're fated for. So something has to change.
To your point, if you look at the Knicks and you say it's Brunson and Towns, and the Celtics are Tatum and Brown.
To me, it's not even close who I'd rather have.
I'll take Tatum and Brown. So why can't Tatum and Brown be built around the same way the Knicks are? Because I think what makes the Knicks,
of course you can,
is the next 4 guys or 5 guys on the roster. So that Celtics should now be committed to that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. Because the analysts that run the Celtics and the coach and his dopey play style demands you be able to shoot and be able to shoot the 3 ball. And so Mitchell Robinson, I don't know if would have a place on the Celtics. And guys like, you tell me, Bridges and Anunoby, and, they'll shoot them, but it's not their calling card.
No, in fact, I was just looking up what Josh Hart's 3-point.
Or Josh Hart, he hits them. He takes them. Like everyone in the league, they'll take them. But that wasn't a prerequisite for those guys to go to the Knicks. They wanted wing defenders because Jalen Brunson is a liability defensively, and they wanted to build their team a certain way. So they just built more of a diverse kind of real basketball team with actual guards and actual centers and actual wings and not this stupid positionless 5-out basketball. But the Celtics could do the same thing, but then they'd have to get rid of the coach and his dopey play style. So I'm back to that. If you bring back Brown, Tatum, and Mazzulla, you're just destined to what you've been. Losing to teams who are less talented than you. The absolute worst thing to be. You're a team that is more talented than the opposition and you keep losing to them. That would keep me up at night.
Definitely.
If I were that team, if I were the Peyton Manning Indianapolis Colts, that would absolutely tear me up inside.
Chuck and duck.
I'd rather be worse talent-wise and lose. Then I'm just not good enough. No, you're good enough. You have the talent. You just have a ridiculous play style and a ridiculous system. And you're not changing it? Maz's Tears, worst trade acquisitions in Boston sports history. Josu in Methuen? Yes, Josu.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, the trade that the Bruins made 3 years ago when they got Dmitry Orlov and Garnet Hathaway from the Capitals, I feel like has to be on there. They gave up a ton of picks for those 2 guys, and both were gone at the end of the season. So that's all. Thanks, guys.
Tier 4.
I liked Orlov.
I thought Orlov did something, yes.
Yeah, Orlov was good.
It was Bertuzzi, Orlov, Hathaway. Those are the big 3. I thought Bertuzzi did nothing. I thought Orlov showed you a little something.
Yeah, he had some balls.
I liked Orlov.
And those were bold moves at the time. They were going for it. I mean, that's kind of revisionist history a little bit, I feel like.
Scott in the truck, who'd we miss?
1981, the Red Sox traded Fred Lynn to the Angels for Frank Tanana and Joe Rudy.
Okay, did they want Frank Tanana and Joe Rudy, or were they just sort of done with Fred Lynn at the time?
I think they weren't able to sign Lynn. He wanted to go back to Southern California. It had more to do with moving Lynn. And Tanana was only here 1 year.
So this was, again, you had to have targeted the return,
Correct.
wanted the return, not just you wanted to deal someone and it's just what you got back. That's why Louis Erickson does not get on this list. You didn't make that trade because you had to have Louis Erickson.
But I knew people were going to have a hard time with this one today. They were going to focus with
too many instructions.
Yeah,
man.
seriously, no, that's it. Yeah, really, Murray. It can only be step 1 and step 2. If it goes to step 3, we're cooked.
5 questions that have nothing to do with sports with Big Jim Murray. That's next. Your calls. It's a long commercial-free segment. So when we come back, your calls the rest of the way as well. Don't go anywhere. Sean and Lawrence. Go, Sean.
You keep saying, like, oh, I didn't actually watch the game, whether it's Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, whatever. Like, isn't your job as a talk show host to actually watch sports?
So I would say my job is to get you to listen.
That is the job.
Mission accomplished.
Take this job and shove. Felger and Maz, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
I got 5 questions for
Mike Felger and Tony Maz.
I got 5 questions that got nothing to do with sports. I got 5 questions. 5! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! I got 5 questions. I hope this segment ain't too wide.
To which I'll say for the 1,000th time, still available for sponsorships. We've gotten emails about them. I don't know if it's a sticker shock thing or maybe they're not picking up the phone, but either way. 5 questions that have nothing to do with sports or Felger and Mass. Question number 1. This is actually taken from yesterday's Toucher and Hardy show. You know it was a good segment because I actually found myself yelling at the radio listening to it. But what is your take on bringing a cooler to a golf course? Because they were all over Wallach for saying he's going to bring a cooler to the golf event coming up on Monday at Brookmeadow. Or at least Hardy was all over him. So do you think this is perfectly fine, or do you find it to be scumbag behavior?
Well, scumbag's the wrong word. Is it low class? Yeah-ish. I have lots of thoughts on this.
Please, go on.
If you're playing a course that's halfway cool, they have little coolers for you. Well, and these are more private club kind of things, not munis. But
the coolers on the carts, you mean?
Listen. If the course frowns on you drinking on the course, then that's not a course that I want to be a part of. Like, F off. Don't take yourself so seriously. You should be able to drink on the course. Now, I think that as long as they allow you to drink on the course and they serve alcohol in the clubhouse, then you should buy your alcohol at the clubhouse. You should support the club or the course and buy your stuff there. Now, if you want to keep it cold and they don't provide them on the golf cart, then you should, a lot of the private clubs, I don't know, public clubs too, have little bags that will keep little mini coolers.
They'll sell you a bag of ice.
They'll sell you a bag of ice. You can put in the ice. Walking on the course with your own cooler is not a great look. But, for example, for myself, and maybe this has been my problem recently, it's important that I have a drink or two on the course.
Takes the edge off.
I need it for I need it, swing juice. I need it. Maybe this has been my problem the last couple of days. I've abstained, and it's been a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So, it should be provided for you. And you should be able to have a means to keep it cold. And if they sell it at the clubhouse, you should buy it there and support the place that you're playing at. It's kind of cheesy to bring your own, okay? If there's none of that, if they don't sell it at the clubhouse, there's no means for you to buy it, and there's no way to keep it cold, then maybe I would just pack a drink in a cooler and a thermos and drink it out of the thermos. Somewhat walking onto a course with your own cooler full of beverages is
bad look.
Not a great look. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, my answer would be I allow it, but be discreet about it. In other words,
right?
Yeah, just stick them in.
Like
your
you're walking onto the beach with a cooler of beer and an umbrella.
If you're like literally walking,
rolling up with the Yeti.
You're like, no, you can't do that. No, But like I know guys who used to say after the first tee, zip over and I'll throw them in the back of the cart. The other thing is now they sell accessories that look like all kinds of things.
Right, exactly.
You can put beers in; they don't even look like coolers.
You can put a tap into your golf bag.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's a way to do. But my only thing is be discreet about it. Don't like carry them in like you carried
with the roller, like rolling the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. But I'm fine with people, bringing it and put them in the cart or whatever.
I got no problem with it, but be discreet. I mean, at my core, I'm North Shore trash, so I'm going to bring a small little guy. But more often than not, it's because the ones I'll buy at the clubhouse, I need to keep them cold.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm going to see the cart girl, by the way.
A cart girl. But if they don't give you means to keep your beverage cold, and there's not a cart girl, you have the inalienable right to have a cold beer on the golf course. And if they don't provide you means to have that, then you are allowed to take matters into your own hands.
In fact, it's in the Declaration of Independence.
It should be. The Fourth Amendment. Go ahead.
Question number 2. What is a restaurant red flag you will never ignore?
So, lines. So I'm different than you people. I'm not a foodie. I don't care. Unless I'm in New Orleans eating etouffee, I do not care about food. So I don't look at it that way. I don't want to wait. So a red flag to me is something that I think is going to take too long. I also am getting tired of places that are too loud. And you can't hear anybody talk. Not that I'm all that interested in talking to you, but it's just really annoying having to say, what? It's mostly my wife. You're a low talker, and you're, what? I can't, what? Get your ears checked. What? I can't, no one can possibly hear you. Sarah, with the volume with which you talk and the din in this restaurant. So I don't like waiting in line, but I just want it to be quick. So a line, I'm out.
So, we're all going deaf because of the headphones.
Of course.
Right? So this is a problem we all have. But I would say cleanliness, and I don't mean that the place has to be spotless, but like there are certain places I walk in and I go, ooh.
You just skeeve.
Yeah, I do. And, so I'm okay with a place that's old, but if a place is
how about a joint? Real joint.
Well, so this is why
it's not going to be clean.
Well, so this is why it's got to be like on a case-by-case basis. If I'm going to a joint because I know it's a joint, I'm okay with that. But if it's like if I went into a place recently where I'd never been there before. I'm going to spare details. But I walked in and go, ooh, did they take care of this place? Or like it just didn't feel right?
Yeah.
That was a turnoff.
So this is mine. So even at a family-style restaurant where they're letting the sticky children in because there's going to be inherent stickiness with the children, I can accept that. But mine is clean your menus. If you hand me a menu and that menu is sticky or it looks like you poured dressing all over it and you haven't cleaned it, what's that say about the back of the house, too? How filthy is it in the back? Dirty menus. That's my red flag. Windows open or air conditioning?
Windows open. 100 times. I don't care if it's 95 degrees out. Windows open. Are you talking about in the car?
Anywhere.
Windows open. The only time it's closed and my air conditioning's blasting is when I'm going to sleep. And that's it. Otherwise, you know me. I don't like blasting air conditioning.
I know this is the answer you're looking for. It depends. I mean, if it's the spring and it's 74 degrees, open the windows. I'm good. If it's the middle of summer and it's 95 and humid, shut the freaking windows.
What about the pollen mess?
I can live with a little bit of pollen, but not a lot.
Not me. Crank that AC. You know how it is in here. Make it freezing.
Thank you. So you admit you keep it freezing. Thank you.
Got to.
Mark tape. Thank you. We have it on record now. You admit what you do with that thermostat.
A good show, you got to have cold temps for the good show. Keep you up.
Got it. Just so you admit it. That's important.
What would you prefer, to take a phone call or deal with it via text or email?
Text. Why are you calling? Why are you calling? How many times does a phone ring and then something like, why are you calling me? Just text it if we need to talk. Do you know what's an appropriate text? Call me if you've got a minute. I don't got a minute. This will have to wait. Or can we chat about something? And then I get to choose if we're going to talk. But just calling? Why are you calling? Don't call me. Why are you calling? I do this all the time. Like, why are you calling? Text.
Seconded.
Third. The worst app on the phone is the phone. I've said it for years.
Totally.
Why are you calling?
Finally, what is the saddest song you could imagine being played at a strip club? Go back to your single days. You're in a strip club. Not just a sad song in general. That's too easy. But a song that would just make you feel sorry for the dancers. Like if the DJ were to play it, you just want to Put some clothes on the nearest answer.
I had a hard time with this. I'm not a big strip club guy, and it's been years since, so I don't really. And then I thought, okay, maybe this is what the spirit of what you're talking about. What was the song, the White Snake song with the girl on the hood of the car?
Here again on my own.
Okay, which is like from our childhood, like the hottest woman in the hottest moment of our life.
Tawny Katane, yes.
Okay, right? So that girl on that car hood with that song is like the epitome of, I can't remember how old I was, but let's just call it teenage bonerdom. And they're playing that song for some journeyman stripper who is not commensurate with the song. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So for me, like, I'd want to, again, you don't want to just go easy, sad song, because that would be Tears in Heaven. If that came on at the strip club, you're like, oh, God, this is awful.
Right.
Or Needle and the Damage Done. But any of, like, the slow journey songs that aren't meant to be sad, Faithfully? Yes, that one I'd be like, oh, this just feels gross. Maz, did you
I was going to say Sexy and I Know It. Anything. I couldn't think of the name of it, Murray, when I was asking you. I mean, I got a whole list of them here. Not that I've been at a strip joint recently either, but something that's like over the top, like, yeah, I'm sexy, baby. And I'm like, oh, God, please stop.
Sexy and I Know It.
So concludes 5 questions.
40 bills overweight. All right, that's that. Your calls the rest of the way. NBA Finals, the absolute bleep show that are the Boston Red Sox, from the clueless kids on the roster all the way up through ownership. It's all on the table. Another new low today at Fenway Park. We started with more A.J. Brown fallout. Whatever you want, to your calls after Murray's 97. Oh, Maz's tears. Worst trade acquisitions in Boston sports history. All back to it all in 90 quick seconds. No commercials, just an update.